So hi again. Welcome to Michelle and Colleen's Real Kitchen, and I'm Michelle Bear, and I'm going to make vegetable stock for you today. Really easy. Don't ever be afraid to make your own vegetable stock. So we've been playing around with this bowl of scraps, so everything we cook. I also went into the fridge and I found a couple of tomatoes that really are too soft for sandwiches and things like that, and I threw them in here, and I got my celery ready and cut the dry ends off of the celery so that I can go ahead and chop that up for other Thanksgiving ingredients, but the ends are here and they're going to be part of our vegetable stock. Also in here, you may recall, we have some onion, we have some bits of carrot, and the meat from the inside of our zucchini that we made earlier today. So I've got a little margarine and it's melting, and I'm going to put a little bit of minced onion and fresh garlic in here. And I'm going to saute that. The key to a good stock, no matter how you make it, is how you start it. So I'm going to make sure that we have some good sauteed onion and garlic in here with the margarine. And we want that to we want the onions to kind of wilt and they clarify, they actually become clearer. And then we want to get that kind of browned up a little bit. Once it does do that, we're going to deglaze. In case you don't know what deglazing is, it's when you get that brown, golden, kind of gooey-ish crud in the bottom of your pan when you're sauteing anything, and you pour wine into it or some kind of alcohol. And that cooler alcohol against the heat causes everything to bubble up real quick, and if you have stuff stuck on your pan, like after roasting, it loosens that and allows you to make a nice sauce or a gravy with that. So here we do that to start our stock rather, and give it a rich color, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of a full, heartier flavor. You can always add some of your little carrot shreddings in there if you have any of those left. I'm actually going to rinse the water from my stock over this, but so it's starting to brown in here a little bit, which is perfect. Almost there. You have to stand over this and you have to be patient. You don't want to burn anything, so my garlic is getting really close to toasting and burning, so we're going to actually go ahead and deglaze in just one moment here. A little bit of brownness, and I'm going to show this. You see a little smoke coming up, but things are starting to get a little brown in there. That's what we want. Now I'm going to take wine, take whatever you can find. Cooking wine, I've got Riesling. It's the only thing open in the house right now, so sorry Danielle, I know you're the Riesling girl, but it's going to a great cause. Don't need a lot to deglaze, just enough to cover the bottom, about a quarter to a half an inch depth, and just stir it around. Once that gets simmering, I'm throwing the rest of my stuff into this pot, so it should simmer up in just a moment. It bubbled up immediately, then it settles. That's when you want to scrape any brown or what looks like burnt on stuff. You really don't want to burn, because you will get that burnt taste. There's a very fine line between richly browned and burnt, so you got to find that happy medium and make sure you're using the right stuff there. So this is making a nice amberish colored broth in the bottom of my pan, and it's just about to bubble. So I'm going to slip that there, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my garbage and just take it and let it go right into that pot. This is going to be beautiful. Nothing like a homemade fresh vegetable stock for your stuffings or for your butternut squash bisque soup, which is what we're going to use ours for. So now I've got all that stuff in here. This is great. I've also got the insides of the butternut squash in here as well. I mean, this is just really a beautiful, beautiful stock pot going on. So I'm going to stir everything up really well, and then I'm going to season before I actually pour the water in. I want the seasonings to mix all over all those vegetables really nicely. Fresh ground black pepper. You can leave it fine, or you can keep going on with it. a sprig of fresh thyme. I can get this in here. Just one sprig will do, that's fine. I'm just gonna drop it in and let it settle and cook. And I know live TV, the cell phones are ringing. Sorry, this is my real kitchen. I guess I didn't answer it. Okay. Sea salt. Don't be shy. You want to put some salt in here because you need your broth to have that salty flavor that you would expect out of a broth. Broth is not something that is shy on salt. We don't want to, like, you know, kill anybody with MSG, so we're using really nice sea salt, a pretty fair amount. I'm going to throw some iodized salt in there because, I don't know, why not? What's the difference? Okay. So we have a good amount of salt in there. Because I'm me, and I do things like this, I throw a little emerald essence in there because I love it, and it gives a really neat flavor to stuff, especially anything with vegetables. Love it. Okay. A little more pepper. Gotta have enough kick in your broth. And then the bay leaf goes in last. After I've got the water in there, I'm going to go ahead and put the bay leaf in. So right now I'm kind of mixing this up so the seasoning's spread around my veggies. And I can smell the tomatoes and the squash. It smells wonderful. This is going to be a beautiful stock. Very excited. Okay, so you may have noticed I have my grater from my carrots and it's got the stuff on it. Waste not, want not. Great way to rinse the grater is when you're pouring your water into your stock. And I'm putting about 2 quarts of water in here. That's about how much I think I can make with this. You don't want too much because then this is just not going to have any flavor. But this is going to sit and this is going to simmer for quite a long time and turn into a magnificent stock that we're going to use in our soup today. So that was my purpose in making this. And again, I might save some for stuffings and things like that. We'll have to see how it comes out. And I've got a lot of vegetables in there. I'm actually going to add another 2 quarts of water and maybe 1. We'll have to see how it looks when it goes in. But that'll be it. That'll be our soup stock. You want it to bubble up and then you want to lower the heat so it's just simmering. You can certainly put a lid on it if you feel comfortable doing that. Keeps the flavors in. It helps it cook faster, that's for sure. And I probably will throw a lid on mine. Alright, so I think that's good. I'm just doing a little over 3 quarts of water into my stock pot. And it's, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's pretty beautiful and everything's floating around and sinking some of the stuff. And it's going to make some great flavors and a wonderful, wonderful vegetable stock. So this can be the beginning of almost any recipe that would use any liquid, any pastas that you make, any rice dishes. Add it in your mashed potatoes, gravies, basting. The list goes on and on. Anything you would use a chicken or a beef base for, or a broth of any kind, you can use this and you can spice it up however you want, and it comes out really good. So throw the bay leaf in there. I am, well, they're tiny, so there's one big one. We'll throw 2 small ones in. And I don't know why or where I got this from, but I break them. So there's a little rip. I don't know if it permeates flavors better, but that's what I do. And there we go. Our broth is cooking, so we will see you later on. The butternut squash is still roasting. It'll be out soon. And then that's going to cool for quite a while before we make the soup because we need to be able to handle it. So we don't want it too terribly hot. I mean, if you're in a rush, you could, but it's probably better to just let it go ahead and cool down. All right, catch you later. That's vegetable stock.